Hello and welcome back once more to my channel, and this time it's another painful review to make, but I think this is one where we were expecting it more than ever, and I think quite simply we can get over this one quicker than we have the previous ones. That was of course the 1-0 loss away to Peterborough at London Road. Now, I think what we can take from this game is positives. I think looking at that second half, you can say, yes, definitely, we're a team that looks like we can progress. You get that new manager in, you let him play his style, and I think it could work. Yes, first half we were well and truly battered, but we were playing some negative defensive football. Well, maybe not. Well, it is negative, isn't it? Had 11 men behind the ball. We sat back hoping for a point. I think that's definitely what we were looking for. As soon as we conceded, though, I think it changed. And we will talk about the goal quickly. If I have got a clip, it will be playing now. But it was just comical. McGilvray's out of position to start with at the back post. Don't know what he was doing there. Harrison Burrows in the corner has picked out a perfect place for him to put it. McGilvray's got back just in time, but just clawed it onto Rasmus's head and is at the back of the net. Nothing he could have done. But, it's hard to say, oh yeah, we were expecting it. But I think every Pompey fan was. Most Pompey fans are thinking, right, we get this over and done with, and then we have a new manager. And fair play to Peterborough, they knew what they were doing. They carried their job out professionally, and I mean, it is hard to play football on that pitch, but that's because of a burst water pipe, I know that anyway. But I think, quite honestly, I'm happy with that. I know people will probably say, why are you happy with the loss for? But judging by the fact we're about to get a new manager in, hopefully tomorrow, maybe Thursday if it pushes that far. But that's going to be one of the Cowley brothers or Daniel Stendel. The Cowley brothers are currently at 10 to 11 on Pompey's odds on Sky Bet, with Stendel now 4 to 1, I believe. However, the Cowley brothers are also favourites for the Charlton job, so it just depends which one they've picked out of those two. And then Stendel will probably end up going to Pompey if it's Charlton, but Charlton, I guess someone else in, I reckon. But ultimately, we'll talk more about today, and I think it was a performance that we can look forward. Yes, we have to now put these previous 4 games behind us. First time Pompey have lost 4 in a row for 8 years since the financial troubles. But it's one, I'm scratching my forehead, just trying to think of the words to put together. But I think honestly there's nothing you can say here to slate the players, to slate the management for the day. I mean, yes, the team selection was a bit confusing with, the 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever it was. But he's obviously come out with a game plan and it hasn't quite worked. He's proved that he's not going to be in the managerial role. He's already said he won't go for it. He'll follow Kenny wherever Kenny does end up. And I think, we played well. We didn't play badly. We had so many chances to take a point there. Harness is one, although he was offside, where he just booted it over the bar from about 7 yards. Curtis had a long-range shot. Hawula had a long-range shot. There was one where Rasmus had a shot deflected, just about cleared away in time. Watmore had a couple of free headers. White had a couple of free headers. We just weren't taking our chances. And as much as fans will say, yeah, well, we lost, we were undoubtedly the better side in that second half. Yes, they did miss a sitter that I won't talk about, where he went to kick it in and blocked off Issa at the back post. But that was their only big chance that half. And quite simply, we knew what we were doing that second half, and we looked good. But quite simply not good enough on the day. Fair play to Peterborough, they knew what they were doing, they did it. But we will, take a look at what Dad and Lewis have to say now. They always have something to say for themselves. I'll get them both to send in a clip before I edit this one, so we'll hear what they have to say now.
Here is my review for Pompey's loss away to Peterborough. And well, it was going to be hard with no manager. It was always going to be hard. And that pitch was absolutely shocking. How we've played on that, I don't know. It was dreadful. And that starting 11, 5 changes, the formation we played, I didn't seem confident from the start. But let's get on to the game. In my opinion, it was a pretty boring first half. We got pinned in at the start. Looked like we were playing for a point from the start. Then they scored a lucky goal from a corner that was whipped in. McGilvray palmed it onto Nicoliasen's shoulder. Not much you could do about it. And then the second half was much of the same. Pretty boring game. We created a few chances, but nothing went right for us. The last 10-15 minutes we made the subs of Harness and Hawula. They created a lot. They created a few. The chance that stood out for me was Harness from a decent knockdown from Bolton. Should have scored that realistically, but not much we could say. It didn't go right for us. That's why we need a manager. We didn't look up for it today, as per usual. That's now 5 games without a win. and it's now onto a tough game against Ipswich, and they've got ex-manager Paul Cook, which he's going to want to win because they're also fighting for playoffs. So it's going to be a very hard game. Let's hope we can get a manager by then. If not, let's hope Joe Gallen can do something to get us the win.
And having heard from them, we'll just move on quickly to League One now. The results from today and where that leaves the table. So Wimbledon, they got a draw against Wigan 1-1. Wigan after getting their new Bahrain owners. Burton, their winning run was halted by Blackpool 1-1, still leaving them unbeaten since the new manager took over. Charlton fought from behind to beat Bristol Rovers 3-2 at the Valley. Gillingham beat high-flying Lincoln 3-0, meaning their slump still continues. MK Dons, they beat Plymouth 2-1. Oxford beat promotion contenders Doncaster 3-0, easily dispatching them. Peterborough, they obviously did beat Pompey 1-0, and Fleetwood dispatched Ipswich 2-0. Obviously tomorrow there is Accrington versus Sunderland, but hasn't taken place before this video. We'll look at the league table now. I haven't written this down because it's a quick video straight after. Hull lead the way still on 66 points from 36 games. Peterborough second on 65 points, closing the gap with 2 games in hand. Lincoln, they slipped off a bit. They're now 4 points off of Peterborough, having played 1 game more as well. Sunderland with 2 games in hand on Lincoln, 1 in hand on Peterborough on 60 points. Doncaster, no more games in hand for them, as they are now on 56 points. It's proven to be a clear gap there. Charlton 6th, having played 36 games, 55 points. Ipswich, 34 games played, 54 points. Oxford in 8th on 53 points. Gillingham on 53 points as well in 9th. And then it takes us to 10th, where we find the Blues, 52 points with 34 games. And the team that I was writing off, Fleetwood, are now in 11th, just behind us, 2 points gap, even though we have played more. Blackpool, though, can move ahead of us. Pompey could end up in the bottom half come Saturday at 5 p.m, but we will not talk about that one. Instead, we'll move on to the bottom of the table, which Swindon currently occupy. They're on 31 points from 35 games. Rochdale, their second bottom after their bad run of form, has left them on 31 points as well. Wimbledon, with a game in hand, are third from bottom on 22nd. They are on 32 points. Northampton do occupy that last relegation place. 33 points from 35 games, 3 of those coming against Pompey. Wigan then moved out of the relegation zone tonight with that point, just a solitary point, but it moved them out on 34 points from 35 games. Bristol Rovers now 19th, 34 points. Then there is now a 7-point gap to Burton in 18th, who still have a game in hand on Bristol Rovers and Wigan. Then Shrewsbury occupy a point gap now, 2 games in hand though, and Plymouth in 16th. They want to avoid any sort of relegation battle. Crewe as well, 15th. They had a bit of a good run at the start, and Accrington 13th now. They've slipped off. But I think we just simply have to be good. We have to be better. We have to improve under whatever new manager it is, whether that is the Cowleys or whether that is, whether that is Daniel Stendel. I'm still hoping it'll be Stendel because I want attacking pressing football, but you never know. I would also like to ask my viewers a question today. Would you like to see a watch along of Saturday's fixture? I can get a couple of guests on. I can live stream the game. Well, I can live stream my reaction to the game. Obviously, I'm not allowed to actually live stream the game because that is illegal. But I can get the game up and I can do a watch along now if you would like me to. I've got the right settings and stuff to do that. Ultimately, it does rely on you though. If I have more comments saying yes, then I will do it. Or let me know down below what you want to see from a watch along. Would you like me to do a lot of preview? Do you want to see some more podcasts that are live and then posted? Just let me know. I can do an hour-long podcast and just live, and if you're not there live, I can post it. Same for the watch-alongs. I can do a 3-hour watch-along, just post it afterwards. But I need to know down below if there's going to be the demand for it. I don't want to do a live stream, turn up, and there be no one watching me talking to myself. But that is where this video will end. I hope you have enjoyed, although Pompey have lost another game. But hopefully we can have the Stendel or Cowley era begin on Saturday with a live stream maybe. But if not, I'll see you in the next video, which should be up probably tomorrow for Europa League. Maybe it'll be up Thursday. Either way, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.